Hi everybody, welcome to Macchiato Monday. This is episode 6, I do believe, and welcome to the replay if you're watching this on the replay. We're going to be talking today about boundaries and how to stop worrying what people say about you or what people, well, kind of what they think about you too. And if you're someone who I resonate with or who is my ideal client, let's say, you'll probably find that you take on board a little bit too much responsibility sometimes. Maybe you're the kind of woman that will overcompensate. They will take too much responsibility. You'll feel guilty if someone says something that, oh, you've done this or you said this. You'll be like, oh my God, have I said that? Did I do that? And you'll take it on and then you'll feel bad about yourself and you'll feel guilty and you'll be like, oh my God, maybe I did. Did I? And then you put that on yourself and you blame yourself, right? And believe me, I have been there, and it's something that I am shifting and changing as we go with myself as well. And this was very, even from last year, this was very apparent in me, and it's something that I've managed to overcome, but still, I'm obviously doing the work to really like get rid of it and everything else and see things from a different perspective. If you're joining live, just say hi in the comments below so I can see who's here as well. So I want to teach you about 3 different types of information that might come at you, or 3 different types of things that might be said about you, or you might be presented with in your world in some way, right? So the first thing is information that you know is true about you. Okay, that's the first type of information you might receive, and it might be praise, it might be something good, or it might be something that's not good, and it might be something you did this and you'd be like, you know what, I did do that, you're right, I'm sorry about that, whatever it might be. That's the stuff that you take inside of yourself. Okay, you can absorb that stuff, whether it's good or bad. If you know it's true about yourself, you're okay to absorb that and take it inside of you. Okay, and this is where the boundaries come in. These are called internal boundaries, which is something that I had no idea about. I didn't even know they existed. It's internal boundaries. The second kind of information that you might get coming at you is stuff that you're not sure if it's true or not. So it could be anything. It could be you said or did this, or Emma, you are this kind of person, or you said this to me the other day, and you could be like, well, did I? I'm not sure about that. That's if it's that you're not sure, you keep it outside of yourself. You do not take it inside of yourself. You keep it out there so you don't feel bad about it. You don't do guilt. You don't do, oh my God, that's my fault. You don't go to the place of, oh my God, I'm such a bad person, or start feeling the shame, guilt, or anything else for something that you're not sure about. So if it's that you're not sure about it, you keep it outside of yourself. And yes, you can think on it and think, did I? Or do some investigation if you want to. But as long as you are not sure about it, it stays outside of you. You do not take it on, and you do not make it a part of you. You do not take it inside of yourself. Now, the third kind of information that might come at you is stuff that you know to be not true about you. It could be someone saying something mean about you, or like, that's, I don't know, something accusing you of doing something that you haven't done, or saying you did that for this reason when you know that, your intention wasn't bad at all, or whatever it might be. However it might be, and it can show up online in a lot of ways. In fact, I'll give you an example. I don't know if this really fits the example, but I'll give you an example. Obviously, as you know, with Facebook, we make, we friend request people a lot, and we make friends with people. And what happened was, it was a few months ago now, someone wrote on one of my posts. Obviously, I'm quite active on Facebook, and I posted on my personal profile, and I was saying something about getting to know or something like that. And they said basically that if you'd actually bothered to find out about me, instead of just friend requesting me, you would know this stuff already, or something like that. It was some kind of rude thing that was written on one of my posts, that I was just asking information, I was just asking a question of people. I think it was around mindset, probably. Now, what that person had done, it was a woman, what that person had done is made my intention bad. She had decided that I was a bad person because I hadn't made the effort to get to know her. But the truth is, 1, that was never my intention. 2, I get friend requested all the time on Facebook, because I'm sure a lot of you do too. And I'm not going to go through every single person that friend requests me, or that I friend request, and actively put a lot of time into building relationships. I do try, obviously, like we all do, but it's not something you can do all the time, because there's a lot coming at you daily, right? It's not something where my attention is, so to speak. And the third point is, she also could have made an effort, right? So that I knew wasn't true. So that's the kind of stuff that you don't take in. And actually what I did was I deleted and blocked her, which is something I wouldn't have done in the past. In the past, I would have gone to, oh my God, did I do that? Was it bad of me? Is it wrong? Am I a bad person because of that? maybe I should have done this more. Maybe I'm bad because I'm not reaching out to these people and making this massive effort to get to know them as a human being and blah, blah, blah. That would have been me in the past. But what happened to me in the present, let's say, or however long ago it was, I deleted and blocked, because you know what? It's not okay with me for someone to come on my personal timeline and say something like that about me. That's not okay. I would never do that to another human being. If I had a problem with someone, I would discuss it in private if it was that big a deal and if they were that important to me, really. I wouldn't go and put it publicly on someone's timeline. So that's not the kind of person I want in my world, in my environment. So I deleted and blocked. And that's a very physical way of seeing that I kept that outside of myself. It wasn't true for me. It's not true of me. I'm a very relationship focused person, and it's something I kept outside of myself. So that's a really good example in a way of where you know information isn't true and you keep it outside of yourself. And as a little bonus teaching moment here, I want to give you something also that I find us as women often do. The first one that I spoke about, let's just go through them quickly. So the information that you know is true about you, you take it inside of yourself. The information that you know is not true, or the information that you're not sure of whether it's true or not, both of those you keep outside of yourself and you don't allow in, okay? That's where the internal emotional boundary is needs to be strengthened within yourself if you're doing that. Now the first one, the information that's true, what women often do, and a lot of high achievers do as well, funnily enough, which is where imposter syndrome comes in, is we often will get praise or some positive information about us that is actually true, and we don't take it inside of us. We don't take in the praise, the accomplishment, the qualification, whatever it is, because we're like, well, that wasn't good enough, or that doesn't count because of this, or whatever reason it is, because we have these beliefs within us that we're not good enough, you know, nothing I ever do is good enough, I'm not perfect, or it needs to be perfect, whatever it might be. That's very much around the imposter syndrome, right? So we don't actually take in the stuff that we should be taking in. We keep outside of us the stuff that actually is positive about us and true about us, and we should be taking it in and celebrating ourselves and allowing that praise into us. And how many of you can relate to, you know, as you've all heard, and I'm sure we've all done this in our lives as well, the kind of woman that will get a compliment, and maybe this is you, and this is definitely used to be me as well, get a compliment, and instead of just saying thank you, they'll brush it off as, oh, it was nothing, or, oh, yeah, but look at this, or, oh, that's great, but what about that? And they sort of put themselves down when they're receiving that compliment to not allow it in. So I want you to, if that's you, I want you to really work this week on noticing if someone says something positive about you, just saying thank you and taking it into yourself. And I want you to notice if someone's saying something that you don't like, that doesn't feel right about you, or that is definitely not true, or you're not sure of, I want you to make sure that you are keeping it outside of yourself and not taking it on board, not feeling guilty, not feeling bad. You are your own authority, okay? You are your own authority on you. You know you better than anybody else. You know your intentions. You know your motivations for things. You know who you are and who you're not. And yes, of course, there's some stuff that's unconscious that we can all learn and grow from, that we are constantly learning about ourselves all the time through the, you know, the external world around us and relationships in general. But you are a pretty savvy woman, I'm pretty sure, and you know whether or not that was true for you. And if, like I say, if you're not sure, keep it outside yourself anyway, but I'm pretty sure you would know. So make sure that you stay in authority in your life, that you are your own authority. You know what's true for you, and don't allow someone to say something about you that's not true, or give you a motivation that's not true of you, or not who you are as a person. You know you better than anyone else. You are your own authority, and I want you to really take that away from today's live stream. So if you got something out of this, or if you learned something today, I'd love if you would share this out. Comment below if you're watching this on the replay as well, and just let me know, does that sound familiar at all? Is any of that stuff that I just mentioned you? Do you do that in your life? Are you someone that doesn't accept compliments, right? Are you keeping that praise outside of yourself? Are you it's almost like you have boundaries reversed in terms of the good stuff you keep outside of yourself, the bad stuff you take in. And I think a lot of women have that set up, right? We have reverse boundaries where it should be the opposite way around, right? So think about that for yourself this week. Notice if you're doing it and let me know in the comments below. And like I say, please do share this out. Please share this message out. If you got something out of this, I would love to hear. And I will see you. I won't see you next week because it's actually good. What is it? Easter Monday next week, I believe. I believe it's Easter Monday. So I'm going to probably either be doing it on the Tuesday or the week after, but I will be back in a week's time in whatever regard that is for Macchiato Mondays live on this page. Normally Mondays at 10:30 a.m. GMT. Well, it'd be actually BST, we're in BST. 10:30 a.m. BST, but if not, it will be the week after. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Have a good day. Bye.